What kind of gold and silver should you buy? These days, the price of gold and silver is at all-time highs. That means that it's getting quite expensive to buy gold and silver. If we used to be able to buy 1 ounce gold coins, well, today that's quite unaffordable for quite a few of us. So today I want to show you different types of precious metals you can buy, different shapes, different sizes. We're going to talk about them. We're going to take a closer look. I'm recording this on a weekend. The gold and silver markets are closed right now, but they closed at all-time highs. Gold is at over $4,000 an ounce. Silver is at $50 an ounce. These are crazy prices. I've been collecting for quite a few years. I've never seen gold and silver this expensive. That means it's getting quite expensive to purchase these coins. If you're a collector, if you're a stacker, if you're a buyer, it's not easy to buy precious metals these days. On the flip side, if you are a seller, if you're decumulating your collection, great time for you. But I think most people who come to this channel, we're still collectors, we're still in the accumulation phase. It's very expensive. It's very, very expensive to buy gold and silver lately. I'm going to show you here on the table. Let's start with this one. This is probably the most expensive coin on the table right now. This is 1 ounce of pure gold. This one is from the Canadian Mint. Now, I purchased this coin about a year ago. I believe I paid, I don't remember what I paid, but it's about twice as expensive today. So the price of these coins has just skyrocketed. In Canada, they're selling for almost 6,000 Canadian dollars. And in the US, they're well over 4,000 US dollars. This is an expensive coin to buy. I'll be honest, I have not bought a 1 ounce gold coin in about a year now, just because it's become quite unaffordable for me, and I'm guessing for quite a lot of you too who are watching this channel. These, I remember 20 years ago, you can get one of these coins for about 500 Canadian dollars. Now they're about $6,000. That's over 20 years, but still, it's an incredible growth, and it seems like the price, especially in the past year or two, has just gone crazy, and it's not showing any signs of slowing down. You know, who knows what's going to happen in the future? It's possible that when the markets open tomorrow, that the price will crash. I have no idea. But right now, as I'm recording this, it's over $4,000 per ounce. Very expensive. And when we buy these at the store, we're not paying spot price. We're usually paying a premium on top of that. So what do we do, guys? It's getting quite expensive to purchase these coins. That's why I wanted to show you alternatives. If you can't buy the classic, beautiful 1 ounce gold coin, if it's too expensive for you, there are other options. You can buy fractional gold. So I want to show you different types of fractional gold that you can purchase. Let's take a look at this one. This is a gold bar, which weighs half an ounce. So it's half the size of the previous coin I showed you. It's in this nice casing here. Pure gold, half an ounce. Now, when you buy a gold bar, usually I find that the premium is a little bit lower than it is for a gold coin. I think people just prefer collecting the coins. And someday, if you want to sell your collection and you bring in bars and coins to the store and you're trying to sell them, you might get a little bit more for your coins. So why should you purchase bars? Well, just because today with the prices so crazy high, in my opinion, it makes sense to just get the best deals that you can and just get some gold into your collection. Bars sometimes in some stores could be more affordable, can have a lower premium. So wherever you buy gold, I'm not going to tell you where to buy it, but you can look at the gold coins, you could look at the bars. If you're going to get a better deal on the bar, I have no problem getting it. I've purchased bars when they are lower per spot. And this is just because I want the gold content. The price is expensive. I want the best deal I can get. So if the coins are too expensive for you, look at the bars. They're a great option. I want to show you now. This coin, we're going to go back to coins for a moment. This is the next size down. This is a 1/4 ounce. This is a 1/4 ounce from the Canadian Mint. You can see the maple leaf on the reverse and King Charles on the obverse. Now, once the price of gold reached about $3,000 per ounce, I began to buy more of the smaller size of coins, just because it got quite expensive to regularly purchase the full ounce. A quarter ounce, here where I'm purchasing them, they go for about 7% over spot. You can shop around, see if you can find better deals. I'd say anything between 5 to 10% over spot is perfectly fair for a quarter ounce. And honestly, with the pace of the price rising so high recently, even if you buy a quarter ounce for 5% over spot or 10% over spot, very quickly you're going to make a profit just because the price is going up so rapidly these days. Again, no guarantee that this will continue. Tomorrow, the price can crash 50%. I have no idea. But over the past year or so, as I've been trying to buy small fractional gold regularly, I've been making a profit by just buying when I can, not waiting until I have enough money to the full ounce, because the price of the spot price of gold is going up faster than I can save money. So a quarter ounce, in my opinion, is a beautiful coin. I think there's a lot of demand for it. I think there's going to be more demand for it as the price of gold rises and people want to get those smaller fractional sizes. So, I'm a fan of the quarter ounce of gold. If even the quarter ounce is too big for you, and I get it because it's expensive and the price keeps rising, you can look at 1/10 of an ounce. This is a 1/10 of an ounce coin, exactly 1/10 the size of this full ounce. This one is from the British Mint. It's kind of hard to see on the camera. There's an image of of Britannia on it. And here is King Charles. So the 1/10 ounce of gold is roughly the size of a dime. So it's not the tiniest coin in the world. You can buy gold coins that are 1/20th of an ounce. They're half the size of that. I think that at 1/10, it's a bit small. It's a bit hard to see all the details on the image. But I think they're still good coins. I buy them. I think that they're small. They're cute. They're, like I said, they're about the size of a dime. They're just big enough that you can handle them comfortably. They're not going to slip between your fingers. So I like the 10th ounce. And I buy 10th ounce gold coins. I think they're great for a collection. And especially if the larger, heavier coins are just too expensive for you, buy the 10th ounces. That's perfectly fine. Now, you can get smaller gold coins. You can buy 1/20th of an ounce. You can buy 1 gram gold coins or 1 gram gold bars. For me, those are too small. I just don't like them. I think that at some point the gold becomes so small that I don't really it's too small for me to even see what's on the coin or what's on the bar. So the smallest I personally go is 1/10 of an ounce, which is, see this size here. I recommend these. If you want to go smaller and you have bought smaller coins, let me know in the comments what you think. I'd like to hear what it's like to handle a 1/20th ounce or a 1 gram coin. So these are the 4 sizes of gold that I personally buy. There's the 1 ounce, which to be honest, I've had to stop buying just because the price has gone up so much. We have a 1/2 ounce, we have a 1/4 ounce, we have 1/10 of an ounce. Whether it's a coin or a bar, personally, I prefer the coins. I try to buy the coins when I can. If the coins are out of stock or the premium is just too high, I like the bars as well. I think the bars are perfectly fine. Okay, that's gold. Now I want to talk about silver. Gold has become, in general, very expensive. I mean, this tiny 1/10 of an ounce of a gold coin costs about as much as this huge 10-ounce silver coin. So silver is still relatively affordable. I say relatively because the price of silver has gone up a lot this year. It's almost doubled in price, I believe, over the past year or two. I remember here at my local coin shop in Canada that a 1-ounce coin like this, you could buy them for about $35. Now they're about $70 Canadian. So the price has doubled over the past couple years. So silver too is getting expensive to buy. What can you do? But compared to gold, it's still affordable. And honestly, lately I've been buying more silver than I've been buying gold, just because I think silver it's not only more affordable, I think it's also more undervalued. I think that it has more room to grow. That's just my opinion. I'm not giving you any financial advice. I have no idea what's going to happen. I just feel that with the heavy industrial demand for silver. Silver is used very heavily in electronics. It's used in solar panels. It's used in electric cars. I think the price still has a lot of room to grow, even now that it's hit these crazy highs of $50 US per ounce. I'm still buying it. So if you want to buy silver, there are a lot of different types of silver you can buy. I showed you the 10-ounce silver. Let's take a closer look at it. We see King Charles here on the obverse. This is the Bull of Clarence. This is from a series from the Royal British Mint. I believe it's the Queen's Beasts series. So I have another one from the series somewhere in the house. I'll have to show it to you in another video. Each of these coins has another one of the Queen's so-called beasts, which are different animals that are important in British history and British mythology. So that's a 10-ounce silver coin. You can buy 10-ounce silver coins from a lot of other mints. It doesn't have to be this specific one. It doesn't have to be a British coin. They make these in other mints with different images on them. Usually the 10-ounce silver coins, they have lower premiums. That's why I like them. If you just want to stack silver and you want to get silver for a good price, at my local coin shops, I sometimes see great deals on the silver coins that are 10 ounce compared to the coins that are 1 ounce. And I just think that the 10-ounce silver coins, they look beautiful. They're so large and hefty. Usually you can see all the beautiful details on them very clearly. It feels like a coaster almost. It's the size of a coaster. So if you just want a big chunk of silver to hold, I love the 10-ounce silver coins. They are getting more expensive, but if you can afford them, I personally recommend them. But still, among coin collectors and among stackers, by far the most popular common size of silver coin I see is the 1 ounce. That is the standard coin. We have one here. This one is from the Australian Mint. You can probably tell because it has a kangaroo on it. Most mints in the world make a 1 ounce silver coin. The Canadians have the Canadian maple, the Australians have the kangaroo, the Austrians have the Philharmonic coin, the Americans have their silver coins. Very common size, the 1 ounce. A little bit more expensive these days, a 1 ounce silver coin. Here in Canada, I'm spending about 70 Canadian dollars on it. That's, I don't know what it is in US dollars, 50 something US dollars. They're not as cheap as they used to be, but considering that this coin is now over 4,000 US dollars, and this is about 50, silver still seems like a pretty good bargain to me. So I'm still buying silver. Again, no guarantees what'll happen to the price. I have no idea. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Another size of silver coin that you can buy is the 2 ounce. This is a 2 ounce coin. Now you can see that the diameter is actually a little bit smaller than the 1 ounce coin in diameter. It is, I assure you, twice the size because you can see that it is a lot thicker. This is a 2 ounce coin from the Canadian Mint from the Ice Age series. This one has a saber-toothed tiger on it. There is a different silver coin from the Canadian Ice Age series which has a mammoth on it. As far as I know, so far in this series, they've only released the saber-toothed tiger and the mammoth, and it's been about a year since they did the saber-toothed tiger, more than a year, I believe. So, just as an aside, if you're watching this, Canadian Mint, bring us more Ice Age animals. Don't make a series with only 2 coins. Okay. Now let's talk about silver bars. So I have a couple of silver bars here on the table for you, and both of these are 10-ounce silver bars. I have 2 of them just because I wanted to show you 2 different types of silver bars that you can buy. So let's look at this one first. This is a minted bar, and you can see that it is extremely shiny, polished, smoothed. This is because a minted silver bar is minted like a coin, and it has that very polished coin-like surface to it. These are pristine and perfect silver bars. Now I'm going to show you a cast silver bar, also 10 ounces. You see that it is shiny, it is beautiful, but it's not quite as polished and perfect as pristine as the minted one. This is very hard to see in the video. I'm not sure if you can see this on camera, but there are little ripples in the surface from pouring the silver into the mold. And you can actually see the ripples and little imperfections on the bar. If you can't see this in the video, I might add a photo later on that shows the difference and shows the little ripples. That's because the process of making them is different. This is minted like a coin. It's perfectly smooth, polished, beautiful, looks very modern and clean. This one was poured into a mold and stamped, so it looks a little different. It looks a little more like a raw ingot of silver. Which should you buy? Usually the minted bars are a little bit more expensive when you buy them, but you also might get more money in the future when you sell them. These cast bars, they're usually a little bit cheaper. They have a lower premium, and when you sell them, you might get a little bit less. Not huge differences, maybe like a % or 2 difference. So I like both of them. Personally, just visually, I love the cast bars. I just think that they look beautiful. They have like this thickness and heft to them. The little imperfections when the person is pouring them into the mold and you see the ripples, I just like that visually. But that's me. I like both types. I buy both types. And I think you can't do wrong with either one of them. So I think we've covered everything we have on the table. We have gold in 4 different shapes and sizes. We have silver in a variety of different shapes and sizes. Whatever your budget is, I think you can find something here, hopefully, to buy. The cheapest thing that you can buy on this table is the 1 ounce silver coin. And if that is too expensive for you, you can get these in half ounces too. Most coin shops will sell you a ½ ounce of silver as well. Mints make them. That's fine. Guys, I know that it's getting more expensive to be a stacker, to be a collector. So you might be asking yourself, should I even be buying at all now? Should I maybe pause from collecting and wait the high prices out? The answer is, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to the price. It could be that we'll have a pullback. It could be that we'll even have the price crashing. I can't tell you. I can tell you that my gut instinct is that over the long term, I'm not talking next week or next month, I'm talking years ahead, I think that the price of these precious metals is just going to go up. And that's in nominal terms. When I say the price is going up, I mean it's going to be more expensive to buy them if you think in terms of dollars or pounds or whatever fiat currency you're using. That's because fiat currencies are losing value. I've done some calculations on my own, just looking at things that I spend on gas, groceries, etc. Looking back at prices over the past 20 years, I can see that my dollars are buying about 7% less every year. So they're losing purchasing power at a rate of about 7 or 8% a year. That is the rate of inflation. So you can frame this as, well, things are getting more expensive at 7 or 8% a year, which is one way to think about it. But you can think about it in a different way and say, my fiat currency, wherever you are in the world, whether you're using Great British pounds or Australian dollars, wherever you're watching from, you're probably noticing something similar, that your fiat currency is losing value. And I encourage you, do your own calculations. Don't look at the official inflation rate that your government publishes. Because here where I am, the government is telling us that the inflation rate is 2 or 3% a year. I look at my own inflation rate, it is much higher than that. So do your own calculations, look at old bank statements, old Visa statements, or just look through your memories, see what you used to pay for things, see what they cost now. Let me know in the comments what your personal inflation rate is, and then you can compare that to how much gold and silver have been going up in price. And I think you'll find that it's not so much that gold and silver are going up in price, and that's part of it. I think that they are going up in price, even in real terms. But I think primarily that's just in nominal terms. Primarily it's the fact that fiat currencies are losing value, and not only are fiat currencies being inflated and being devalued by money printing, I think just people are losing faith in them. People don't want to save dollars anymore. People are switching to saving their wealth in other ways. It could be stocks, it could be real estate, it could be gold, it could be metals. People just, they don't want fiat currencies anymore. They're losing faith in them. And looking back at history, fiat currencies don't tend to last that long. They tend to last maybe about a century. Some of them last longer, some of them maybe live a little bit less, but they don't last forever. You know, there's a reason why we don't still use fiat currency from ancient Rome or ancient Greece, right? These currencies don't last forever. But a gold coin or a silver coin that was minted in ancient Rome would still be worth a lot today. It would probably have more or less the same purchasing power today as it did 2,000 years ago. So when you buy gold and silver, what you're essentially doing is taking some of your wealth and putting it into something tangible, into an asset that no matter what happens to fiat currencies, no matter what happens to the economy, you still have it, you can hold it in your hand, it's there to keep you safe, and if you ever need to, you can sell it and you can use whatever currency you get at the time, who knows what it's going to be worth at the time, just to keep you alive, to pay your bills, to buy your groceries. It protects you in case of currency collapse. And not just currency collapse, but just currency devaluation that slowly erodes the value away. And looking at our own history, looking at just my lifetime, since I was a baby, the value of a dollar has lost something like 99% of its value. It completely collapsed in my lifetime. 99% of its value is gone just in my lifetime. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. I don't think that currencies are going to stabilize for the long term. We might have a few years where currencies are doing well and gold and silver suffer, but the long term, over the next few decades, I think that it's a wise investment to have gold and silver, whether it's a collection, whether you're not a collector and you just want to be a stacker, whether you just want to have it in your portfolio, whatever the reason is, I think that it's still a good idea, even today, even with these crazy prices, to do what you can and buy what you can. I heard an analogy recently that if a ship is sinking, if you're on the Titanic and the Titanic is sinking, are you going to care whether you spent $100 on a lifeboat or $1,000 on a lifeboat? You're not going to care. You're just going to be glad that you have a lifeboat. You're not going to care what the price is. Gold and silver are a lifeboat in case of currency collapse. If your currency does hyperinflate, if it keeps losing value at 7% a year, long term, you're not going to care whether you spent $50 on this coin or $100 on this coin or $150 on this coin, whatever you paid for it. You're just going to be glad that you have that lifeboat. That's why even at these high prices, I'm still buying precious metals. I'm buying them more slowly. I'm buying smaller sizes. Maybe I'm buying silver instead of gold, but I'm still doing what I can to slowly build up my lifeboat and to have fun. Because let's be honest, for me at least, maybe for you as well, this isn't just about investing. It's also just about having fun. It's a hobby. That's why I like collecting different series like the Ice Age series and the Queen's Beast series. So I think the element of it being fun and it being a hobby also can encourage us to save and encourage us to have something valuable like precious metals in our home, in our portfolio, in our stack, in our collection, however you want to think about it, however you want to call it. So that's it for now. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of these different types of gold and silver? Are you still buying at these crazy high prices? Do you think the prices are going to go up? Or maybe you think I'm crazy and you're selling now and you're making a profit. Whatever the case, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe to the channel. This is a brand new channel. I think this is only the 4th video. We need more subscribers. So this is important. If you like this video, if you want to see more, please hit subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.